Hey folks, my name is Adrian, and in this video I'll be sharing my travel experience from Manchester, UK all the way to Kuching, Malaysia during these coronavirus times. I will also touch a bit on the mandatory 14-day quarantine process, and I'll close off with some quick tips. Speaking about the quarantine process, I'm still here in the hotel serving out my quarantine period, and today is day number 14. So it is my last day, and hopefully by tomorrow I'll get released pending the results from my swab test. As I'll be covering quite a few things in this video, I highly recommend that you take a look at the video description down below to get the timestamps so that you can jump ahead to all the sections that you are interested in. This video as well is going to be kind of like mainly for entertainment purposes. I don't want to go into the crazy details about the various processes, and I'll just cover things as briefly as I can. The main reason for that is that the policies regarding traveling and quarantine keeps changing. They have changed over the past 14 days that I've been here, so really anything is up in the air. If you happen to stumble across this video and enjoyed it, yay! But if you're a traveler and wanting to get into Malaysia and was searching for videos such as this, I hope that you'll find this video insightful and somewhat useful. I highly recommend that you visit all the government websites regarding the coronavirus to make sure that you update yourself with the latest news and information. And the links to those websites will also be in the video description below. And needless to say, if you do enjoy this video, do give me the likes. I'm fairly new to content creation here on YouTube, and I don't really post very often. But if you feel that you want to subscribe to my channel, yeah, go ahead and do so. Anything helps, I guess. So let's get on with the travel bits. I started my journey in Manchester on the 11th of July. I took a train down to London Euston, followed by a tube to London Paddington, and then another train ride to Heathrow Terminal 2, and stayed over at the Hilton Garden Inn Hotel. On the 12th of July, I had a morning flight with Malaysia Airlines to Kuala Lumpur International Airport, and after 6 to 7 hours of transit time, I took a domestic flight with Malaysia Airlines again to Kuching International Airport. And I'm now in Harbour View Hotel during my quarantine period. So what you see in the next few minutes are basically clips that I pulled together from the various bits of my journey. They were recorded in a very candid manner, so I would say kind of fairly disorganized, and I may not include a lot of useful information in them, but I will edit some extra information into them and include some extra narrative in case I do miss out on anything. The one thing that you just need to remember is that there'll be health officials waiting for you at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, and they will guide you through the process of checking in, filling out the forms, and doing the swab test and all the various bits. So don't worry too much about it. All you need to do is get the right information with you in advance to prepare yourself for when you get there. Without much further ado, let's roll on to the clips. Hi up, so here I am on the train down to London Euston. We're just about to reach the station. I'm just waiting for the train to stop and hit the platform. But yeah, I hope you can hear me. I have to wear the mask obviously in public transport. Yeah, so I'm on the first leg of my journey back home to Malaysia. The next stop is going to be taking a tube down to London Paddington, and then from there to Heathrow Airport. So we'll check back soon. So I'm at the Hilton Garden Hotel. It is right beside Terminal 2. I'm sat in my room trying to figure out what else is there to do out there. I haven't gone out to the reception area just yet. I mean, obviously I checked in. That's the hotel room here. Pretty nice, spacious room. And got the temperature down to 16. Woohoo! So yeah, I've been just getting myself ready for Malaysia. Haha. So apparently the bar and the restaurant is open at the hotel. You could go down and have a seat there, or you could ask to do a takeaway. So it's not too bad. They don't have room service. I guess it's maybe just short staff or just for hygiene purposes, but we do have to go down and collect the food and just let them know whether it's takeaway or sit in. But I do have those options, and I'm seriously tempted because there isn't a lot to drink here. I could boil myself some water and let it cool down, but other than that, so don't know, seriously tempted. So I did go down to the hotel restaurant after all. It was a pretty nice place. They were adhering to the social distancing rules, so all the tables were far apart. There were a limited number of staff on duty, which was to be expected. But at the same time, it's not an issue because there were also very few guests that was using the hotel restaurant. My usual issue with using hotel restaurant is that I know that I'm going to pay a premium for the food. I paid £8.50 for buttermilk chicken wings and £6.50 for 3 scoops of ice cream and £2.50 for a small bottle of cola. So it's not hugely expensive, but it is still a little bit more of a premium to it. If you have the option, go bring your own food. If not, you're gonna have to like fork out something at the restaurant here. There's not a lot of options available because a lot of the shops are closed at Heathrow Terminal, so you do have limited choices. But anyway, tomorrow's my flight, and hopefully it will go on really smoothly. At the moment, I have a problem with my suitcase. The handle just is jammed there, so I can't get it open, which means then that lugging it around is going to be really tricky and troublesome. Thankfully, I'm just right by the terminal that I'm flying off from, so that should be okay. But once I get to Malaysia, it's going to be tricky pushing it around, so I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. And we'll see what MacGyver skills I have to get it going. So that's my little update here from London Heathrow, and hopefully I'll have more tomorrow. Good morning, folks. It's Sunday morning, quite early actually. It's about 7:48 a.m. in the moment. So I'm kind of more or less ready. I got my I'm Here shirt from the Google Maps team. And I got my bag more or less packed, ready to go. The only thing left is this humongous suitcase. It's pretty heavy. The makeshift solution I've come up with from a handle that doesn't want to budge is just this little bit of a towel. So I can just hold on to it and just pull it, and then it kind of works really well as long as the fabric doesn't tear. So I'm hoping it doesn't. And what I have left to do is to take this cling film to that suitcase and wrap it up like a little bundle of joy and happiness. So this is how it looks like now, and I'm going to show you what it's going to look like once I'm done wrapping it up. I've never done this before, so it's going to look really messy. And there you have it. That's the finished product. I probably could have gone for a few more layers, but looks pretty decent. In a way, I don't really care about the quality and how thick it is. All it shows is that whether it's been tampered with or not, so hopefully it's not. But anyway, there it is, it's done. So here we are at the ground floor, London Heathrow. There's a massive queue. That's a different airline. Thankfully, Malaysia Airlines is a much shorter queue. But interestingly enough, they have us standing outside in a foyer. So rather than going through the normal departure lounge area, we are actually placed outside the terminal. So I got through the security, got some drinks and snacks. I'm just kind of making my way to my gate. They're boarding right now, so might have to rush. The notice says it's like 15 minutes away from here, so yeah. It's a bit of a hassle. It turns out that my luggage is 39 kilos, which is under my limit, but I didn't know that you could only have 32 kilos maximum per luggage, so I had to go and get a second one, transfer some stuff over. And now I just need to remember that I'm picking up 2 luggages when I get to Kuching. But I don't know. I've got to go through all that to get to my gate. Well, it did say it's 15 minutes. And thank goodness for travel aiders. But yeah, it's been an interesting start of the journey. I think it's going to get a bit more complicated when I get to KL with all the form fillings and check-ins and check-outs and various bits and bobs. So I cannot wait to take the mask off for a brief moment to catch my breath because I'm just so tired. Okay, this is interesting. It looks like everybody is required to wear full PPE. I'm just wondering whether it's a full flight and that's why there's not enough separation, but yeah. Okay. Another challenge. We'll see how this plays out. Or maybe it's another flight. It looks like it is another flight. Okay, so I'm in my seat at the moment, finally made it. Bit of a rush trying to get here. The gate was pretty far away and dragged myself to here. Got all the stuff that I need, and yeah, so this is my first time trying out business class here on Malaysia Airlines. It's spacious, but the design is also very generic. It's very functional, and I guess you could say it's very business-like. And yeah, I just want to show you what's so there's a little cubby hole here. There's lots of space for personal items. There's a front tray there. There's a remote in here. But yeah, I mean it's pretty good, and there's a lot of legroom. And yeah, because the seat's going to recline and kind of quite flat for when it's time to sleep. But at the moment, yeah, I'm really glad to be in business class, to be honest. It's been quite stressful getting to this point, so I'm hoping to enjoy and relax on this flight home. And also, I kind of like the space, to be honest. Yeah, it's far away from people, so that's pretty good. So anyway, I hope I enjoy my flight. I hope it's a safe flight, and I'll talk to you soon once I get more time. Good morning from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. So I just arrived on a flight. It's about 7:19 in the morning here. There is no clear signage at the moment, but we're just heading towards the arrival hall. Well, baggage reclaim actually, sorry. Same direction, but I guess we'll get more instructions when we get closer. Anyway, I'm losing breath again. I'll keep you up to date with what's happening. But at the moment, we're just heading all in the same direction and just hoping we're going in the right place. Right, catch you later. So it's about 10:45 a.m. here at the airport. I'm now waiting at the domestic flight wing. I'm just waiting to board my flight to Kuching. It's at 2 p.m. so I've got about 3 hours of waiting time before I can actually board and fly off. I arrived at KLIA about 7 in the morning today, and it's been quite long. Just getting through the queues, getting swab tests, tested negative. Hey! So all that social distancing in the UK worked out really well. I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, I'm just kind of sat down at the moment with all my luggage and just waiting for my flight. Anyway, it's been a long day. It's been painful lugging my bags around. It's super heavy, sweating in all the wrong places. I've stopped sweating now, but you know, I'm still sticky in all the wrong places, and I really looking forward to checking to the hotel and getting a shower.
Still not sure where I'm going to get quarantined, but once I get into Kuching, I've got 14-day quarantine to go through. And during that period, I'll be stuck in my hotel room 24/7, and it'll be interesting. I've got stuff to keep me busy, books, videos to watch and stuff like that, but I'll find stuff to do. But yeah, so that's the latest update. I'm happy to get through the flights at the moment, the immigration, the testing, so pretty good news so far. I just got one more flight to go, and then that's it. I can actually go and sleep. Hey, welcome from Kuching International Airport. So I've gone through all the processes here. So basically what it is that you get off the plane, just follow the signs, and then you join a queue. Basically, you need to show your e-health declaration form. Basically, it's a mobile form that you need to fill in advance. On the form, it'll show you whether you're on a blue line or on a green line, and you just use that to follow basically which group you join into. And then from then on, there'll be people that talk you through the whole process. It's basically more form filling, and just lots of form filling actually. And then they'll give you another wristband. So now I got a blue wristband. So the pink wristband was from KL Airport, and the blue wristband is from Kuching Airport. Basically, I need to keep both on. So once I get to, I'm just waiting at the outside here in the airport lounge area, I guess. With fellow passengers who are also getting quarantined. So we're just waiting for everybody to turn up. I think there's still some people that's still stuck in there doing their process and filling in the forms. Basically, once they're done and they're out here, we're going to take transportation. Do not know what it is, but we're going to go to the hotel and go through a whole process there, what to do to check in, what the rules and regulations are for the quarantine. And basically, at the moment, all I know is that I need to check in using a mobile app twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, and basically allow the app to record my location just to prove that I am at the hotel. So it sounds pretty extreme, but I don't mind the quarantine. It helps to stop the spread of anybody who's positive. So it helps in the long run. It is troublesome, but it is what it is. So anyway, that's me talking way too much, but here I am. This is the Kuching International Airport. This is kind of like where you enter the building. It's pretty small. They've done some new extensions to it, etc. I didn't get to see much, obviously, because I'm trying to focus on getting through the system and getting myself registered and getting out as soon as possible. But anyway, that's basically what it is.
Okay, stop. Before we continue on any further to talk about hotel and the quarantine side of stuff, I just want to take a moment here to add further comments about the travel section and to also provide some tips about it. So basically, my comments about the travel section is relating to the Kuala Lumpur International Airport experience as well as Kuching International Airport experience. So once you get to KLIA, you just need to follow the signs for baggage reclaim / immigration as you would normally do during a normal travel experience. And once you get to that area, that's when you see better signage, and also you see the health officials there to help guide you through the process of checking into KLIA, and also taking you through from station to station, getting yourself registered, filling out forms, getting yourself tested a swab test, and then paying for the swab test, and then waiting for your results, and so on and so forth. You obviously get the pink wristband when you get a KLIA. In Kuching International Airport, it's a very similar experience. You get health officials there to guide you through the process of registering yourself. You get the blue wristband, but you don't get a swab test in Kuching International Airport. You get the swab test done on the second day of your arrival in Kuching at the hotel. But I'll cover that in the next section when we talk about the quarantine process. So back to the airport, I guess my number one tip for you is to make sure that you register yourself with the My Sejahtera app. So the My Sejahtera app is basically the track and trace app that the Malaysian government use. It is not the same as the track and trace system that is being used in the Apple or the Google ecosystem. Those use Bluetooth wireless technology to make sure that there's a lot of handshakes, exchanges going on in the background, and it's all done automatically, so you don't have to worry about it. With the track and trace app that the Malaysian government is using, the MySejahtera app, it is completely manual, and all it is that in all the venues that you visit, there'll be a QR code there, and you basically have to scan the QR code to say, I am here right now at this point in time. So that's the point. That's the point when the app logs your location data and logs the time that you were there. So you just need to remember that every venue that you go to, you have to check in, because if you don't, you get fined if you are found out that you haven't been checking into all those places. Okay. So the MySejahtera app was very critical for my travel, because when I got to the check-in counter, the lady was asking me for the app to show that I've registered for it, and I showed that I've already done it all. Also, the registration for the MySejahtera app can be quite finicky. So I was reading up online in the various forums that some people were having problems registering themselves with it. There are two ways you can register with the app. You can use your mobile number, or you can use an email address. Those who were using mobile numbers were having problems because they were meant to be receiving a code from the app to the mobile number to say that, hey, we are the same person that's registering for this, but they were not receiving the code at all. Whereas if you send in your email, you were more likely to get an email response from that. So my biggest tip for you is that register using the email address, and do this days in advance. Don't wait till just before you fly, because you don't want to give yourself the stress. And once you're registered into the app, there'll be some questionnaires in there as well. You just need to fill in very basic stuff that just basically provide your personal information, and also some health history, and also some location, like traveling history in there. So just fill those in, and you'll be good and sorted to go before your flight. Okay. Also, once you get to KLIA, the health officials want you to check in to the airport, so there'll be a QR code there for you to scan in. A lot of people have not installed the app in there, so the queues was forming up with people waiting in line, trying to register themselves the app, trying to check into the airport. Whereas I've got my app already pre-installed, I already registered, so I could easily scan it and then just move on straight away. So do that in advance, and you can basically jump the queue at that point in time. And don't worry about all the stations bit. There'll be people who guide you and tell you where you need to go to and what you need to fill in. The one thing that they've asked me all the time was that my full name and my IC number. Obviously, Malaysians use IC. If you're a foreigner, you'll be using your passport number. And it's basically just to verify that who you are, and it matches up with the forms that they have with you, so that you're always moving about with the same forms. It's a very straightforward process. Another thing as well is that tip number 2, for me anyway, I wasn't required to do a pre-travel swab test, but now it is recommended, if not mandatory, to have your swab test done before you fly. Quite a number of airlines were rejecting the passengers if they did not carry with them test results proving that they were negative before they fly. Okay, and also you have to take the test 3 days before your departure date, which means you need to get your results within 48 hours to make sure that you will have your results with you as you check in. Okay, so that's tip number 2. Make sure that you get yourself tested. Obviously, go to the website, the official government website, to make sure that the policy hasn't changed on that, because things could change. But at the moment, it is mandatory to get yourself tested. For me, I was lucky enough to skip that, so it's quite fairly straightforward, my process going in. Tip number 3 for me is that once I got to KLIA, I was hungry and I wanted to find food. And I got in early in the morning, about 7, which is a great time because the place was really quiet, so there's not a lot of people in there, and I got through the queues real quick. But a lot of shops were not open, and there weren't many options to get food. The only fast food place that was available was a place called Mary Brown's. If you're not familiar with that brand, it's basically similar to KFC, McDonald's, and that was the only place that I could get a decent hot food. So if you don't want to eat stuff like that, just make sure that you're carrying snacks with you, biscuits, whatever you can, just bring with you, because it's going to be a long day of traveling and you'll be hungry and you don't want to get stuck where you find you got nowhere to buy food. So bring snacks with you. That's my tip number 3. Tip number 4 is that if you need a local SIM card to get access to internet, please do so at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. So I was really lucky, well, lucky or not lucky, I don't know. But when I got to the airport in KL, there was only one shop that was open that was selling the local SIM card, and that was Celcom. So Celcom is a local Malaysian mobile network. And I just signed up to one of their prepaid packages. It was 35 ringgit, if I'm not mistaken. That gave me unlimited data and unlimited calls. I was perfectly happy with that package, and I signed up for it, and so that was done and dusted. And I was lucky in the sense that I did it then, because once I got to Kuching, there was no time for me to look around to get a local SIM card. In fact, I didn't even see any shops there selling a local SIM card. And when I was at the hotel, or when I'm in the hotel right now, the Wi-Fi is absolutely not that great. I was going to use a harsher word, but it's not that great. Basically, it's really slow. The signals are really weak, so it's really hard to connect to the Wi-Fi. Throughout these 14 days I've been here, I've been using my mobile to surf the internet and to get anything I needed from the internet. So really do get a local SIM card if you need to. If you don't, that's fine. But if you need a local SIM card, do get it at KLIA before you get on your next Lego journey. And I think that's it. That's all my tips. Oh, tip number 5 is a very, very minor tip, really, but it really comes in handy. Depends on how paranoid you are about cleanliness and health and safety, I guess, and all that stuff. But bring your own pen with you. It is so much easier to have your own pen to fill in the forms rather than using one of those pens that they've been handing out and you just do not know who's been touching it and bits and bobs. And sometimes they don't even have pens because you got X amount of people coming in and everybody's holding onto the pen, stuff like that. So just bring your own pen, make sure that you're ready, and that's it. That's a simple tip. Bring your own pen. I think that's all the tips I have for the travel section. So let's go on to the hotel and quarantine clips. Hey, so I'm right here at Harbour View Hotel. This is the hotel that I'm getting quarantined at. I'm just stood outside my room, and outside every room here, you can see this short tables out there, and basically that's where they're gonna leave the meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you have to go there and pick up your meals. So basically the door is set up so that the moment you enter, obviously I got this thing here to stop it from closing, but the moment it closes, it self-locks, so you always have to keep the door ajar if you want to go out well, technically you're not supposed to be going out. You can only go out to get your meals and then you have to go and head back into your room. So I want to show you the room. This is the quick video tour of the hotel. So toilet's fine, walk-in shower, a fridge cabinet. It's 2 single beds, plenty of space to do cartwheels and exercise. Fantastic views. I'm on the 9th floor. Okay, I'll pick this window because this window's cleaner. But yeah, fantastic views. I'm just overlooking the whatever that temple is called. I can't remember what it's called anymore. So this is kind of like the unboxing of my dinner. So tonight's the first night I'm having dinner in the hotel. I'm actually filming this, guess where? In the toilet. It's because it's the only place where I can get pretty good, decent lighting. Everywhere else in the room is quite dim. But anywho, this is my dinner for today. I have an orange, cutleries, and basically instructions say that I need to dispose of everything in a bin bag and leave it outside my room before 10:30 tonight so that they can come and pick it up. So I have no idea what I'm having for dinner, and it's cracky. Kind of difficult to open this in one hand. I'm not succeeding at all. Okay. There you go. So plain rice, Still no idea what that is. It kind of looks like an omelette. Might be chicken. Bitter gourd with scrambled eggs. Pretty cool. I like this dish. Not sure what that is. But again, it's like it's free. Cannot complain. And quantity wise seems to be pretty okay. So I'm kind of happy with it. It's not too much, not too little. And I think I can just about make it happen and make it work. So there you go, that's my unboxing of the hotel meal at Harbour View Hotel. I more or less tidied up the whole place, wiped everything down, wiped my bags down, pretty happy with where I am at the moment. Not going to eat yet, well maybe I will. I don't know, I'm just going to get out my clothes because this clothes has been traveling with me for the past 27 hours thereabouts, so I'm just want to get out of it as quickly as possible. So cheerio!
So here I am at day 10. I'm sat in a van. I've just been ferried to Riverside Majestic to do my swabbing. It's nasal and oral. And yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for everybody else to be done as well. I was the first in the queue. And this is kind of the van, so it's been decked out to cover in plastic, so it's quite interesting. But yeah, they've taken us to Riverside Majestic where we've done the swabbing, and there's only 4 of us, or maybe 5, so that's why I think they've brought us here.
Okay, I have to be really honest with you. I enjoyed my quarantine. 14 days here. It's bliss. It's quiet. It's like time to spend on yourself. What more could you ask for? I mean, you don't have anybody to disturb you. You don't have work. You don't have anything. It's basically just you doing your own thing for 14 days. It is absolutely amazing. I enjoyed it. I'm quite an introvert person, so it kind of suits me that I don't actually have to talk to people or even socialize at all with anybody, so it was really good. Obviously, the one thing that I need the most is internet, so that's why that SIM card that I got at KLIA was absolutely crucial for me to enjoy my time here. One of the challenges that I did was to try to get to 10k steps in a day. That was a very, very torturous day, I have to say. Obviously, it's like the room is pretty small, not small for exercise, it's big for occupancy, but small for exercise. And you can only move so much in a space. So to get to 10,000 steps was like climbing Mount Everest for me. But anyway, I really had a decent time here at quarantine. I had 2 swab tests done, one at day 2 and one at day 10. Day 2 was done at the one of the meeting rooms within the same hotel, so that was quite straightforward. Again, there'll be people there to help guide you through the process. Know that you're going to have the swabs going in both sides of the nostrils and then in down your throat. It's gonna be discomforting, it's gonna be weird, but you get through it. Day 10, my swab test wasn't done in the hotel. In fact, it was done in another hotel. My biggest tip for staying here is to obviously bring enough gadgets, bring enough stuff to keep you entertained and occupied. Bring food. Okay, so I was okay with the food, and I also didn't want to eat too much, trying to reduce my weight and not gain any weight being in here. But I did bring Quaker Oats with me in case I got hungry, and it was just something that I could just eat and keep me feeling full for longer periods of time. But obviously just bring snacks with you, whatever you feel comfortable with. In this hotel, and I think most hotels are the same, there are also room service, so if you ever need more food, you can order for it. I do have a mini laundry detergent bottle, so I brought with me, so it's like a traveler's detergent thing. So I could basically wash my clothes, and I haven't been doing it. I try to minimize the rotation of clothes so that I have about 2 to 3 sets of clothes that I rotate through, and then I get them washed. I just didn't want to unpack all my stuff. So I'm a very kind of semi-organized person, and I just have one bag that I never touch at all, and another bag where I would dig into it every so often to get new stuff out. But I just kept it really, really simple. And obviously, I try to keep my room also very neat and tidy. You're going to be here for 2 weeks, so you're going to make sure that it is tidy, it is as clean as possible as you can get it to be, because you don't want to be living in a dump. Unless that's your thing. So I'm not going to judge, but you do you, I do me, and we're all happy at the end of the day. I think that's all I have to say about my travel experience and the quarantine process here. I hope that the tips and my comments about the whole journey experience it's useful somehow. I have no idea. But anyway, I hope you find it entertaining. Again, I just don't do content creation. I don't normally film myself on the camera, so it's kind of weird. I normally just do buildings and landscapes, but yeah, that's kind of basically what I do. So anyway, it's been an experience recording this and trying to get my thoughts out in a cohesive manner that people can understand, and hopefully I got my message through out nice and clear to you all. Again, if you do enjoy the video, please give it a big huge like down below. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can do so. Don't expect videos every day because I'm just busy. So I'll try to get something out once every so often. I don't have a particular theme to my channel. I just do life in general, I guess. Oh, what I can do say is that obviously previously I've been in Manchester, UK. I've relocated back to Kuching, Malaysia. I'll be here for a few months, and at some point I'll be moving to Kuala Lumpur. But my point is that I'm also a local guide. So if you're not familiar with the Local Guides program, it is a program run by Google. You can find out more about the program at maps.google.com/local guides and read up about it. But basically, if you enjoy photography, if you enjoy reviewing places, and sharing your local knowledge with the wider global community through the Google Maps app, the Local Guides program is then very much suited for you. So for me, it's like I love eating, I love photography, and I love to explore and travel as much as possible. So me being here in Kuching, having been away for so long, it is really a foreign place to me. And I'm also expecting a huge culture shock because I've been in the UK for the past 20 odd years. I've been in the UK longer than I've been in Malaysia. So it's going to be an experience. Anyway, to keep it real short, it's been an experience. If you're going to follow my channel, it's going to be all about my exploration of Kuching. I'll be trying to document as many places I can as possible and show you the sights and sounds of Kuching because I think it's a fantastic place, and it's also the cat city, and I love my cats. So there you go. Take it easy. Bye. Peace out. Good morning from sunny Kuching. It is day 15 here at the Harbour View Hotel. I've completed full 14 days mandatory quarantine here, and today is my final day, my discharge day. So I got my room all tidied up and cleaned up. I put all the chairs and tables to where they were originally located. Got all my ducks lined up in a row, ready to go. I've got 2 hours left, and I'm going to wait for a phone call from the health officials so that I can head down to the lobby with all my bags and do all the paperwork necessary and finally get my wristbands removed officially, and then I'm a free man. Except that there's been some new cases in Kuching, so the authorities have been fairly careful and cautious and asking people to not go out as they want to, I guess, so be restrictive in your movements. So before I go, I just want to give you a last bit of advice. Don't forget to wear your mask when you head out and wash your hands regularly and keep your loved ones close, but your friends and everybody else at 1 to 2 meters apart. So in the meantime, have a great time, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the experience. It's been interesting filming this and videoing this, and I don't normally share my personal life and my own experience, but there you go. So hope you enjoyed it. Take it easy. Cheerio.